Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? I hope everybody is doing good. If you're out there, go ahead and log in. I'll try to see whether StreamYard will let me see comments today, but go ahead and just log in. Let me go ahead and just share this real quick, and then we can start. Yes. Okay. You always have to make sure there's volume because sometimes these systems, all this technology sometimes doesn't allow us to have volume and can be talking to yourself. So anyway, guys, how are you? I hope you are doing well. If you're up there, go ahead and share this information. Looking forward to talking to you today about goal setting for 2023. I know that we have a lot of people are setting their goals right now and they are making all the plans for the new year. So I want to come and I just want to come here and talk a little bit about that because setting goals is really important. And then we also want to make sure that we are setting goals and we are also accomplishing those things that we are trying to accomplish. So go ahead and invite your friends. Go ahead and invite those people who you know are setting goals for 2023, which I'm sure is almost everybody. And then we will start. And the reason I wanted to come here is because there are a lot of people who are either setting goals and don't get to see the results of they don't get to see the results, and then there are people who are even tired of setting goals, and so the new year is coming up and they're like, you know what, there's no need of even trying to set goals because even if I set goals, nothing happens, it never comes to pass. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So let me see here. Okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to be the tech person doing everything here. So let me see. Why will this allow me to do? Okay, yeah. Okay, so good. I got the link that I wanted for YouTube. So you can either come here on Facebook, on YouTube, and guys, if I can't see the comments, sometimes, okay, hi Esther, good to see you. Yeah, sometimes StreamYard does not let me see the comments, and so it becomes a little bit hard for me to be able to acknowledge you or to see your comments, but I'll go ahead and start. So I wanted to come here and talk about goal setting because this is a time where everybody is setting their goals, everybody is planning for 2023. And so we have a lot of everybody's planning for 2023, so we have a lot of things going on. Hi Jerry, good to see you. So as we are planning, and Jerry, go ahead and share it in the different groups so people will be able to join us, and then they'll be able to get this information. So I wanted to talk a little bit about setting goals because setting goals is really important. It's something everybody knows is important. It's an important thing to do, but unfortunately, they say that 95% of the goals that people set, they never really get to accomplish them. And then also, a lot of times, people set goals, but then by the time it's the second or the third week of January, people have forgotten those goals or they've given up on their goals. So I wanted to come and talk a little bit about that because the more we set goals and we don't accomplish, the more it becomes frustrating. And then after that, people feel like they don't really need to set any goals because what's the use of setting goals if you're not going to be able to accomplish them? And so today I want to talk a little bit about, first of all, before even setting goals, one of the most important thing is just to be able to understand you, because sometimes we set goals based on what other people say, or we set goals based on what we hear people are saying that they're going to do. For example, a lot of gyms right now, they know that we're going to be getting a lot of people signing up because people are going to start planning for their wellness. They'll be planning how they're going to lose weight for 2023 and all that. And all that is just hype, because a lot of people, those when you set those goals, you're not really setting those goals based on who you are, based on your values, based on what your assignment is, based on what you're trying to accomplish. A lot of times we just set goals because those are some of the things we see a lot of people doing. And so, one of the reasons why we set goals and those goals don't come to pass is because we've not taken an inventory of the past. So we know that we don't really need to stay, like, the past is the past, but it's important to also know that even as you're like looking at taking us time to just look back and see how you lived your life, how you accomplished your goals that you had set before. Taking a step back is really, really important, because sometimes you might be going so fast, but you're going in the wrong lane, you're going in the wrong direction. So taking a step back also always will help you to evaluate, like, okay, why am I still here? What did I accomplish in 2022? Did I accomplish what I set out to accomplish? And if I did not accomplish, what are the reasons why I didn't accomplish? Is it because I lost focus? Is it because I lost motivation? Is it because I allowed people in my life to talk me out of the vision that I was trying to accomplish? Or did I get sick? Did I lose my job? All those things are really important, that you take time and ask and just reevaluate. So we live in a time and a season where everybody is just trying to do everything really fast. People are just on the fast lane of life, and they are doing all kinds of stuff. And so taking time to just reflect becomes something that a lot of people struggle with, because one thing we find that sometimes we just don't want to look back at ourselves to ask ourselves those important questions, like, why am I doing things the way I'm doing? So hi Rose Moore, thank you so much for logging in. Hi Mike, thank you so much for logging in. And so when we don't take time to ask ourselves those questions, why did I not accomplish these goals that I'd set out for myself, or what caused me not to accomplish the goals, those are that we will sabotage you when you're trying to set the goals for the coming year. Because in order for you to be able to set those goals for the next year, you have to know what were the things, setbacks that happened in the year in the year that we're just leaving, so that you can be able to, if it's something you need to fix. If, let's say, for example, you realize that the people you surrounded yourself with are people who constantly talked you out of your vision or out of trying to do the thing that you had set out to do, then maybe now when you're setting up your goals for this coming year, you need to maybe reevaluate and see, do I need to continue hanging out with these people? Because they say that you are, like, when we look at the 5 people that you spend the most time with, we'll be able to tell where you're going. We'll be able to see where you're going, because if you're spending time with people who focused, most of the time it will cause you to also start getting focused. But if you're spending time with people who don't really care, or who just complain all the time, or people who have no idea where they're going, most of the time you'll just find yourself also in that same boat. So it's very important to ask yourself those difficult questions. But then now there's another thing that I wanted to mention is, life will always give, life will not give you what you ask for. Life will give you who you are. And that's really important for you to understand. Life will not give you what you ask for or what you think you deserve. Life will give you who you are. So we always say, if you want to change your life, you have to start by changing you. You have to start by discovering who you are, so that you can be able to develop you, or develop the parts of you that need healing, develop the parts of you that need, if it's to learn how to focus, to learn how to do all these different things, you have to be able to to focus on like life will give you who you are. So it's not so much about what you're asking for, but who you are. And so my what I focus on is teaching people how to discover their own superpower, because as you heal, as you discover who you are, as you heal the parts of you that maybe experience trauma, as you healed parts of you that have wrong mindsets or wrong expectations, or you don't view yourself properly. When you heal those parts of you, then you will start to attract a different version of people your way. So if you are looking at your life right now and you don't like who you attract, you don't like the situation that you're currently in, you don't like the results that you're seeing with your life, instead of trying to change the outside, which most people try to do, start by changing what's going on the inside. Because what goes on like, and I know people, especially Christian people, don't like when people talk about energy, but everything is about energy. You attract who you are. So if you want to change, if you want to see a change in your life, then you have to start by working on you. You have to start by working on who you are. You have to be very clear on who you are. You have to be very clear on you have to be very clear not just on who you are, but that looking even at the experiences that the things that you've experienced. You have to look at that so that you can be able to determine okay, what areas do I need healing in, or what areas do I need to start working on. And the more you start working on those areas, when you find healing in those areas, then you start becoming whole. And as you become whole, then you start attracting people who are whole. So instead of saying that, oh, and I know sometimes people say, okay, I need to just leave so that I can relocate and go live somewhere else. Or I need to just go and change and go live in a different city. Or I need to just change this job and go to a different job, and my life will change, or things will be better for me. But before we even think of all that, before we even do all that, um, we have to ask ourselves we have to look within ourselves to see, who am I? Because you attract who you are. So you have to look at different things that you've experienced, and then you look at your own emotional health, and you look at your physical health. You have to look at the whole package in order for you to know exactly what you need to change. And I was reading, I'm always reading about different things about mindset, about the subconscious mind. And one of the things they say is 95% of the things that happen to you based on your subconscious mind, and not just your conscious mind. So if you want to see change, a lot of people will change how they dress, they'll change where they live, they'll change their jobs, they'll change their business, or whatever it is they want to change. But unfortunately, all that will not change if you are not willing to start working on the subconscious mind. And so I was listening to this session, and one of the things they say, that your subconscious mind started from the third trimester of when you're in your mother's womb. So that means there are some things that are happening to you. They are not really based on It's not really based on you, but it's based on the emotions that your mom was going through when your mom had you. So you had no control over some of those things. And that's what sometimes we see, people from different families are attached to there are certain things or certain tendencies that they have. And you wonder why those tendencies are there, because they started building all those things. Their subconscious mind got all that information downloaded to them from the time they were in their mother's womb up to age 6. And then growing from that, after that, we start to just manifest it. And depending on our experiences, depending on where we were raised, depending on our culture, depending on our environment, all those things just grow, and we see all the manifestation. So one of the things that you have to do is to know that regardless of whether you had control over what was deposited in you or not, you have the power to change. change. You have the power to attract different. You have the power to change the direction of your life. So as you're setting your goals for 2023, one of the things you will have to do is you have to do an inventory of yourself. You have to reflect on your experiences. You have to reflect on the results that you got for this year. And then you ask yourself, you have to ask yourself those difficult questions like, why was I procrastinating? Because sometimes we look at procrastination as laziness, but procrastination is not really laziness. It just means that there's something within you. It's based on fear. So there's something in you that's afraid of failing, or there's something in you that's afraid of addressing an issue, and so you end up procrastinating. So when we look at someone who is always procrastinating, the deep thing within them is fear. They're afraid of the results of whatever it is that they're supposed to be working on. They're afraid of the results, and so they choose to do other things other than doing what they're supposed to do. So your subconscious mind is so powerful. 95% of the outcome in your life is based on your subconscious mind. So we can be looking, if you see someone who's doing whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, how the status of your life is based on your subconscious mind. It's not based so much on your conscious mind, but it's based on your subconscious mind. And then the universe will mirror who you are. Whatever it is that you are internally, the universe will mirror that, and that's what you'll start to attract, and that's what you'll become. And so a lot of times people look at their situations and they wonder, I'm trying so hard to change. I've changed my environment, I've changed how I look, I've changed this, I've started going to church or different things, but they wonder why they still see the same results, or whatever they were running away from follows them in a different city, or follows them in a different church, or follows them in a different place. And so sometimes it could be that you are programmed from childhood to think that life is always hard, that you always have to do, like everything is always hard. And so when you're programmed to believe that everything is hard, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, you can watch people attract wealth, you can watch people attract favor, but you will not be able to manifest that, because deep within you, you believe that everything is, for you to get anything, it has to be super hard. And so sometimes you can look at other people and feel like, oh, this is so unfair. These people, things are so easy for them. But the truth is, you have to start working on your subconscious mind. What are your belief systems? What are the things that were deposited in you growing up that made you actually, that made you believe that life is, that life is like life is hard, or it's hard to accomplish things. And I'm not saying that life is easy, but I'm just saying that our subconscious mind plays such a big role. And for us to be able to see true change, we have to start working from the subconscious level to see, we have to reflect deeper. And that's why, and it's not easy, because a lot of people don't even know how to do it. And that's why we have things like coaching programs. And that's why even when I have the program called Discover Your Superpower, because you have to be able to look deep within and even look at your family line. What are some of the things that have been happening in my family line? Why do we work hard but never see results? Why do we constantly see stagnation in our family? Why do we always see limitations? And limitation is something that limitations are so bad, because you can be able to see where you want to go and you can work towards going there. But the limitations that are in your life will cause you to go so slow. So something that would have taken you 4 years can take you 15 years for you to be able to accomplish, because of limitations. And those limitations are all part of your subconscious mind and how you think, the things that have been programmed within you from childhood and all that. And it's not easy to break all that because you've lived all your life with those limitations and it's a part of you. You're always, that's just what you know. And so trying to reprogram yourself to be different or trying to program yourself to see things differently is not easy, but it's doable. And so my hope and my prayer for you is that you will not waste time just setting goals without being clear on how to go about it. And that's why we have those sessions that we're going to be having on how to discover your superpower, so that even as you do your session, even as you do your even as you're setting your goals, you'll be able to set your goals based on realistic the realistic setup. Let me see, my son is kind of opening the door. Okay, sorry, sorry about that. Yeah. So so when you're setting your goals, you'll be able to set goals that you'll actually be able to accomplish. Because when you set goals and you don't accomplish after some time, it becomes frustrating and you just feel so you just don't you no longer want to set goals. And I remember actually a few years back, I had actually stopped setting all these goals or saying, oh, this is the year of favor, this is the year of what. When you go to church, you're hyped up. But then now, when you start living your life, that word that you got in church is not really manifesting. It was just like, I used to feel like it was just hype. And so now I've come to a place where I've understood there's the word or the spiritual side, and then there's the practical side. But a lot of times we focus so much on the spiritual side and just stay on the spiritual side that we don't know how to be practical about making that work. And that's why we actually need more people teaching step by step on what you can do in order to be able to in order for you to be able to accomplish your goals. And so the yeah the last thing I wanted to say, because I didn't even plan to be here this long, jeez. The last thing I wanted to say was there is a way to be able to reprogram your mind. There's a way to be able to reprogram everything, your subconscious mind and all that, so that you can be able to start manifesting your goals. But it's not like something we can do here on Facebook live and just say, oh, you can be able to do 1 2 3. It's a whole process. It's a whole retraining and reprogramming. And that's why we have different sessions and different classes where we teach people how to do that, how to go step by step, because it's not something that you can rush through, but it's something that I would say you owe it to yourself, to give yourself an opportunity to be able to reprogram yourself so that you can be able to start living life to the max. You can be able to maximize your potential, to you maximize your talents to capacity, because you are created to do great things regardless of what your profession is, regardless of what country you're in. When God created you, he looked at you and said that everything about you is good, and he put you here for a specific purpose. And if you don't fulfill that purpose, it just means that whatever you are created to do is going to be missing out here on earth because you did not discover your purpose. And so it's important for you to discover who you are created to be, and then you start walking in that manifestation. Because when you're walking in your purpose, that's the only way you can have peace, that's the only way you can have the favor that you need, that's the only way you can be able to make that money that you're looking for, that's the only way you can be able to live the life that God designed for you to live. And so it's not going to be easy, but it is really, really important. So I want to encourage you. I have a link at the bottom there. If you want to know more about the Discover Your Superpower program, I want to ask you to go ahead and sign up, because fill out that form and you'll be able to get more information, because we're going to be having our next class starting Studying, it's going to be starting on the 14th, January 14th. So after people have set their goals, people have gone to the gym, people have done all kinds of stuff, we're going to start the sessions January 14th. And then once we do that, then we'll be able to help you step by step on how to be able to manifest how to be able to manifest the things that you have set out to accomplish. So I see a lot of people commenting. I see Israel says watching. I see Fancy says life will give you what you are, who you are. That is so true. Life will give you what you are. So even if you desire to be this other person, but if you don't change if you don't evolve, if you don't heal the parts of you in order for you to become that person, life will only give you it will give you who you are. And then I see Lydia asking, how do we manifest? What's the process like? And so I like that question because that's why you need to sign up. So we have Discover Your Superpower Program 1, and then we'll have Program 2. So we'll be able to go through all these steps so that you can be able to manifest your life. Because to be able to manifest the things that you want to accomplish, it's not easy to go through the process. It's a long process, but once you do it, then you'll start to attract that which you want. You'll be able to change they say you'll be able to change your energy. You'll be able to walk in the path that God designed you to be, and you'll be good at it. You'll be effective. You're going to be able to do what God has called you to do. It's not going to be easy, but you'll be able to handle it because you're walking in alignment with the purpose that God has for you. So the link is there, Lydia. You can go ahead and sign up. And then, of course, guys, if you know anyone who would profit in this, or if you know anyone who needs to be able to discover their superpower, you need to go ahead and have them sign up so that we can be able to see people accomplish greatness in 2023. There's so much in store for us. There's so much that God has in store for his children. And I believe even in these last days that we are living in, that it's very important for us to be very clear on who we are. It's very important for us to be clear on the assignment that we've been given, because so many distractions will come our way. People will come with so many different offers. And one of the things I realize is, as you start walking in your assignment, as you start doing what you've been called to do, you will start to attract all kinds of people, all kinds of good projects. You'll start attracting a lot of good projects, but you are not called to do everything. So you have to be very clear in what it is that you've been called to do, and then you stay within that lane. Because when you get distracted and you start doing things that you're not intended, that were not is not things that you're not supposed to do, you'll find yourself spending your energy in the wrong place. And what has your attention whatever has your attention, it's going to take energy from you. So you want to make sure that whatever you're doing is in line with whatever you're spending your energy on, or whatever you're focusing on is in line with your assignment, so that you're not wasting your energy on the wrong thing. So that question is more of like the second level, where we say, when you've started, like they say, it's hard to be successful, because being successful is like climbing a hill. You're constantly going up and working hard and all that to be able to see yourself accomplishing a certain goal. But then now maintaining the success is the most difficult part, because after you get there, you're in a different level. You're fighting different challenges that you didn't have before. And then also, just to be able to maintain that level is really, really not easy. But it is possible if you become very clear on who you are. It's possible when you become clear on the assignment that God has for you. So I see Mukami here. If you say, yes, we need to discover our superpower. Yes, we need to discover our superpower. Hi, Regina. Good to see you. Hi, Florence. Good to see you. Hi, Mike. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for logging in. And so, yes, so you have to take time to understand what it is that you've been called to do. And you have to be very clear. And that's why, even in my program, I always tell the students, you have to be very clear on what your personal mission and vision is. Because if you're not clear, when different opportunities come your way, they might look like good opportunities, but they might not be in line with who you are. And so sometimes that's the problem, where we find ourselves signing up to things, or signing up to doing projects and things that look good, or you're convinced that, oh, this will benefit you, this will make you money, and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, if you're doing, even if, no matter how good a project looks, no matter how good a deal looks, if it's not in line with your vision for your life, if it's not in line with your purpose, then what's the use of doing it? Because it's just going to take away energy from you, and at the end of the day, it's not going to really help you get to where you need to be. So one of my core values, something that's really important to me, is to, whatever I do, I have to be able to have peace. Because in this life, without peace, you will not be able to go far. Without peace, you'll just be, life sucks when there's no peace. So you have to be able to make sure that whatever you're doing is in line with who you are. And that's why it's very important to be very clear on your purpose, be very clear on your assignment, so that once you know all that and you're working in it, and you know exactly what your core values are, if anything is presented to you that's not in line with who you are or what you're supposed to be or your core values, then it's not hard when you just say no. And no is a full sentence. You don't have to explain no to anybody. No is a full sentence. So you don't have to do everything that is presented to you. You just have to be able to know, like, if it's not in line with who you are, if it's not in line with what you've been, what the direction in which you're going to, then you just say no and you move on and go to the next project. So guys, thank you so much. For those of you on YouTube, I want to encourage you, even on Facebook, I want to encourage you to share with anyone who you know, who needs to be, who wants to know more about setting goals. We are going to have a session. We're going to have a session. I'll let you guys know the exact date when we'll have a session. And then after that, we're also going to have the class going on. And then we'll be able to help as many people as we can. And yes, Jerry says, yes, let's all discover our superpower. Yes, Jerry has discovered her superpower. So she's an advocate for the Discover Your Superpower program. She wants to make sure everybody discovers their superpower, because life gets better when you know who you are. Life gets better when you know what it is that you've been called to do, the direction that you're going. And it also makes it much easier to say no to things that are not in line with where you're trying to go. Because one of the things that people struggle the most is that saying no. Because I've seen people, hi Catherine, good to see you. That's my childhood friend. So what I see is people really struggle with saying no to situations, especially if those situations look like they make sense to everybody. Like they have, like sometimes something can be presented to you and it's like, okay, yeah, this is the right thing to do, you need to do this and all that. But if it's not in line with what you've been called to do, or in line with your core values and your purpose and all that, then you can be able to say no without feeling bad. But if you are not clear on who you are, you're not clear on what you've been called to do, then it becomes very hard to say no to a situation that looks like, oh, this looks like a good situation, or this looks like can profit me and all that. But when you're clear on who you are, then you'll not make your decisions based on how good an opportunity looks. You will make a decision based on where you know you're going and where you want, where you're going, and then also based on where you want to, you'll make decisions based on where you're going and your purpose. So oh, Lydia is saying you can't see other people's comments. Yeah, that's the I'm using StreamYard, and StreamYard is not, when you're not going directly through Facebook, then StreamYard is a little bit tricky because I'm seeing other people's comments on YouTube and I can see other comments on Facebook. And then I can't, but when you're on Facebook, you can't be able to see all the comments and you can't be able to see everyone who has logged in. But I like StreamYard because it allows me to use multiple platforms, so I don't have to, it's just less complicated for people who are not techie. So I was able to learn how to use it, and so it's so much easier because I don't really have a lot of technology background, so I don't have to have other, I can be able to use it without having other people help. But anyway, guys, anybody has any questions before I get out of here? Any questions? And I hope I'll be able to see them because now with this different screens, let me see here. Yeah, so the link is at the bottom. You should be able to, like, once we get out of here, the link should be in the comments section or the description section on YouTube. And you can be able to click on that link. You'll put in your information and I'll be able to reach out to you and I'll be able to give you more information. The webpage has information about the program, but then now I'll be able to also give you additional information on the dates and the times and all those different things. So you can be able to sign up, and then you can be able to join us if you decide to join us. So I see, Catherine, you ask questions, just meditation on what you've shared. Thanks, girl. Happy New Year. Yes. So Catherine and I used to sing together. Used to sing together, then me, I lost the vision. She's still singing, so you guys can find her on Facebook. She's not on YouTube. She still sings, but I lost the vision. I decided to pursue something else. So, but I thank God. Thank you so much for logging in all the way from Kenya. And yeah, it's so good to have you. And yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, just make sure you click on the link, fill out your information, and then we can be able to chat a little bit if you have any questions about the program. But make sure you share with at least 2 or 3 people, because we are in this season where people are confused about who they are. People are not clear about their assignment. People are going through depression. People are going through hard times and they feel they can't talk about things. But a lot of things come into, like, just being able to understand you. It's like the most powerful gift you can ever give yourself, because a lot of times we don't understand who we are. We don't understand where we are coming from. We don't understand that our journey is unique to us. So you don't have to look at yourself as a group. Or if people are going the one direction, you don't have to go to that direction. You have to know who you are, and then you have to understand you so that you can be able to know how to be a gift to you, how to be able to help yourself, how to be able to strengthen yourself, how to be able to strengthen your weaknesses, or how to be able to even grow your gifts so that you can be effective in the area that you've been called to. So Esther, thank you so much. You say thanks so much. I've learned something today. Yes, I'm glad you've learned something today. And also, I just want everyone to know that you can set your goals, but before setting your goals, take time to reflect on this year. What made you succeed? What made you not succeed? And then look at the deeper issues. But then also, it's important to get someone like a coach to be, yeah, we even have Coach Israel here. If you guys are not following him, make sure you follow him, because he has a lot of good information also, so that you can be able to grow. Because I found that you cannot, the knowledge you have right now has brought you to where you are. If you want to go to the next level, you have to be able to seek that knowledge. You have to be able to find a teacher. And they always say that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So a lot of times, even when we are giving you this opportunity to take like a a coaching program like the Discover Your Superpower program, this is an opportunity that has been presented before you. You have the ability to say yes and to take the opportunity so that you can be able to discover your superpower, to understand you better, or you can say no to the opportunity. And maybe 2024, when we are setting goals for 2024, you might be at the same place saying, oh, I went through the whole year and I didn't meet my goals, or I lost the energy, I lost the motivation in the middle of the year. So life is all about choices. And I always tell people sometimes that if God himself has the power to force us to do things, but he doesn't force us to do anything. He allows us to have our own free will to decide what it is we want to do, whether we want to accept him, whether we want to go one direction or the other. God doesn't force anybody to do anything. He gives you your free will to do what you want. So you have the ability to say yes to training, yes to a coaching program, so that you can be able to grow and actually have a different life at the end, like a different outcome. Or you can say no. You can say this is not for me, or you guys are just talking gibberish or whatever. Oh yeah, yeah, that sounds good, but it's not for me. Yes, but no thanks. And all that. You can say whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, it's all about results. Results are the ones that talk. So you will look at your life and see, okay, what are my results? Did I accomplish what I set out to do? Do I have this dream, this vision, but does it look so far-fetched that I don't even get the energy to try and work towards it? So because a lot of people are there where I know right now they're saying, okay, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds, I'm gonna save this amount of money, I'm gonna buy this house, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But at the end of the day, when the year is over, they find themselves in the same spot, and then they just do the same thing again. So instead of being on a hamster wheel of repeating the same mistakes over and over, take a shortcut, get off the hamster wheel and try to do something different. So this is an opportunity for you to do something different with your life, and your results, I can guarantee you, your results will be so much different. So guys, I can talk about this the whole day, so let me leave this alone. The gibberish is coming to light for me. Yes, I'm glad the gibberish is coming to light, because there's only so much hamster wheel movements we can do before we get tired. And that's how people get frustrated with their own lives and everything. So guys, thank you so much. It's been real. And it just always remember that this is your season to break limitations. And so you want to be able to break limitations so that you can become the best version of yourself. And so, hi Lucy, good to see you. Hi Betty, good to see you. So guys, anyway, I gotta go. It's been real, it's been wonderful. If you just joining us, I want to encourage you to go back and watch the replay, and then you can also find it either on Facebook, on my Facebook page, or you can also find it on YouTube. So, and go ahead and share my YouTube channel. I want to make sure that we grow the channel so more people can be able to have access to hear all about this information and also know how to break the limitations in their own lives. So thank you guys. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Enjoy your day. And if I don't get to hear from you, if I don't get to come back on live again, go ahead and just have a wonderful New Year celebration. Don't party too hard, and also make sure that you set up goals that make sense for you, and make sure you take time to understand you first before you set the goal, so that you're not setting goals that you never accomplish. So thank you so much, and thank you for logging in. It's been wonderful. Have a wonderful day.